Welcome to Beyond Belief Paranormal Stories, the podcast that deep dives into the world of the paranormal, the occult, and the unexplained, with your hosts, Kayla and Melissa.
Welcome back, everybody. We're Beyond Belief Paranormal Stories, and today's episode, we're going to be playing a game of Would You Rather?
I don't know the questions. Mel has all the questions, so she's going to ask me the questions first, and then she's going to give her response after I give mine.
Mm-hmm. So some of these questions are just random, paranormal things, not specifically about, movies or anything like that.
That's fine.
All right, so we're just going to dive right into it with the first question.
Sounds good.
Would you rather spend a night alone in a supposedly haunted mansion or explore a dark and eerie forest rumored to be haunted?
Alone?
Alone.
Oof. That's a hard one because, one, I'm not like an outdoorsy person, so I don't like the outdoors. And whether the forest is haunted or not, depending on where the forest is, there are still animals and bugs and snakes and other creepy things. So, that's for sure there. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like, I don't know, because also if it's a legit haunted mansion.
That is supposedly haunted.
If it was supposedly haunted, I probably would pick the house just because I could sleep outside on the veranda. Or the front porch, and I'm not likely to be attacked by a bear or something. So I probably would pick the house and just not sleep in the house, but maybe just outside of the house if I had to.
I would also pick the mansion because I am terrified of the dark. Mm-hmm. Outside.
Yeah.
So you will never catch me outside by myself.
Yeah, that was another thing. I don't like the dark in general. Even in a house, if it's really dark and creepy, I don't like that. I won't walk into a room if it's pitch dark. Even if my husband's sleeping because he works and I go to bed later than him, I put on my flashlight to go into the room because I just don't like walking into a dark room and stuff. So yeah, I would not. If I had to do either, there would be absolutely no way I would go without power of some variety.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Yeah. Even if we need to take something out to the trash or something outside, I'm I have to have somebody watching at the door because I will not go out by myself in the dark.
Yeah.
During the day, I have no problems. No problems going out during the day.
Yeah.
But all right.
Okay. That was a pretty easy one, I think.
Also, let us know in the comments to any of these would you rathers
what your answers
and what your answers would be.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have any other would you rathers that you would like us to answer.
That too, yes. All right, so question 2.
Okay.
Would you rather have the ability to communicate with ghosts but not be able to control when they appear? Or have the power to sense impending supernatural danger, but not to be able to prevent it?
Ooh, I don't like that. Because, on one hand, I'm ooh, it'd be good to know something bad was going to happen. Mm-hmm. But if I can't do anything about it, that's just going to cause me, severe anxiety. So, I already have enough anxiety for, 5 people. Maybe even more. So I feel that would just send me over the edge. I would just have constant panic attacks. So I feel I'd rather talk to the dead and not control when they show up, because if they sure, they might startle me and stuff, but I don't have the sense of impending doom, I guess, and not being able to do anything like that, because that's one of my I already have that with my anxiety. I don't need a legit source causing more of it, I guess.
I would also pick, like, communicate with ghosts. If they were, like, the type of that would just, like, walk into the room like a normal person, like, kind of thing, like, okay, that's not that big of a problem. But, like, if they just, like, appear right in front of you, that could kind of be like, annoying. But I find, even with that, though, like, if you don't want to talk to them or anything like that, you could just be like, piss off, like, go away.
Yeah, like, go away for a bit or come back on, like, this day or whatever. Potentially, whether or not they'll listen, who knows.
But I also feel the same about the not being able to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to know something if I couldn't prevent it from happening.
Like, what's the point of being able to predict the future or see the future if it's something bad and you can't stop it?
Yeah. So, it's a good question.
Yeah. I didn't really like that question, but yeah.
Well, you're probably not gonna like a lot of these.
Sorry. I just don't want our TV to turn off.
All right. Question 3.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather possess the power to time travel and witness historical paranormal events, or have the ability to see into the future, but only for your own paranormal encounters?
But, like, who's to say? Okay, so, like, for example, like myself, I don't have a whole lot of, like, paranormal stuff happening to me, I would say. Like, so, like, who's to say that if I was to travel into the future that anything would happen? Like, that would be my concern if I picked myself, because I'd be like, well, who's to say that that would actually be, like, legit, like, anything? So, but then, like, at the same time, it's like, would I want to go back and, like, potentially, like, I don't know, visit, like, the Conjuring house, or, like, kind of be, like, a fly on the wall or whatever?
So is
during
that,
that?
like, considered historical paranormal event, though?
I would think so. It's, like,
what's considered
historical? Like, I would say, like, something that is in history, like, something that it is, like, recorded and important enough that, like, it's remembered. It's not just, like, and it's public knowledge too. Like, it's not just, like, you know, Jimmy over here is, like, ghost story. It's like,
so, because I guess, like,
there's movies
everything
about
that
it.
happened with the Conjuring was so big,
Mm-hmm.
and they made movies out of it that would be considered historical.
I would say so. I mean, I could be wrong. Let us know what your thoughts are. But I definitely think that would be historical, because it is, like, anything in history is written down. That anything that's important in history is written down and recorded. So I feel like it would have to be something that was, like, talked about or recorded, or, you know, that kind of thing. So, like, part of me is, like, conflicted, because I'd be like, I feel like maybe going back and being able to, like, see them, like, I don't know if I would necessarily, like, want to be, like, a part of it.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's scary. But, like, if I could just be, like
you have to be close enough to, like, witness it.
Yeah, like, or like, you know how, like, you, like, what is it, like, in, like, Scrooge, where, like, he's going back in the future and seeing all the things that he did that was, like, mean, but he's, like, there, but he's not there. He can see it, but, like, he can't interact with, like, the world. If it was something like that, where nothing could interact with me and I can't necessarily interact with that, I think that might be cool, only because I don't want to get fucking possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
In that circumstance, like, because, yeah. So, like, I feel like doing something like that might not be bad, like, where you're kind of, like, watching, but, like, not able to, like, no one's able to see you. You don't change the future or the past, sorry, and that kind of thing, but you can kind of, like, witness it, almost like a fly on the wall type of situation. That might be interesting, because, again, like, who's to say that, like, any of us are gonna necessarily have any more paranormal events in the future, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of be my...
This one's a hard one for me.
Why?
Like, I've had my own paranormal experiences.
But, like, it says go in the future, or does it say go in the past?
No, future. So I'm like, do I want to know what else would happen or not?
See, like, I feel like it might be different for you, especially if it was, like, to go back in the past. Because I feel like...
To, like, re-witness.
To see, like, what are, like, different things you might, like, get a different perspective on different things. So I feel like that, if it was, like, go back in your past and re-witness something, that might be more interesting for you to do.
Yeah.
But like I said, you don't know if anything's gonna happen.
Yeah.
In the
true.
future, like you could like literally, it could be crickets from that there on out, and then you're literally not witnessing anything unless you're like guaranteed. Maybe
if you're somebody who's got that ability that like constantly has things happening to them all the time, I can understand that.
Yeah, but I feel like
but like a once or 2 times thing that happened in your life doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get it again.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know.
Like I was saying, if it was something that was like legit, like guaranteed that you were gonna have significant paranormal things, that might be different, because then you could kind of like, I don't know, witness it ahead of time. But like you're eventually gonna witness it anyway, so like I don't know. That's kind of where I'm like, but you would witness it anyways eventually, so like why not witness something that you can never witness?
Yeah.
Because like the Conjuring stuff happened in the 70s, like we weren't even born. Was it the 70s? Or was it later? Or earlier? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
Can't remember. But like they happened like either way before we were born. So like we had no chance in even attempting to witness that kind of a thing. So like being able to witness something that you already know like the outcome, and to see if it's actually like happened the way that it said that it did.
Also to like the outcome on whether it's reality or not, like if they're actually speaking the truth of things that did happen.
Yeah.
So
because then you would know for sure, like, oh, they were for sure telling the truth, or they like embellished a little bit, or they were totally full of shit.
Yes, I guess I probably would then pick the time travel for the historical event.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do too, just because like I feel like that's more like it's more concrete that like you're actually seeing something that's like significant if they're not bullshitting. But like if they are, then but it says specifically like an actual paranormal thing, so like I would assume that if it wasn't real, you wouldn't go there. I don't know, it's kind of like a wonky question to like be like, because there's so many what ifs, like what if this, what if you were guaranteed, then or like what if the Conjuring was like fake, kind of a thing. Like I don't think it is, but in the off chance that it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's an interesting question nonetheless. Very interesting.
Let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
All right. Question 4. Would you rather have a friendly ghost as a constant companion that's visible to only you, or
Casper,
or be able to understand the language of animals with paranormal abilities?
I think animals.
Paranormal abilities, does that count as like they say like cats and dogs can see?
No, I think are they talking about like just the ability of being able to communicate with cats and dogs is your paranormal ability, because it is an ability that's like not normal?
I don't know.
I'm
just
not
says be able to understand the language of animals with paranormal abilities. So this
there's
could
two
go
different there's two different ways you can interpret that question.
So either we pick the because they say like cats and dogs can see things that are otherworldly.
Yep.
And or it could mean when we're dead, we communicate with the animals.
I was taking it as like you have a power while you're alive to be able to communicate.
I guess there's 3 ways you can think of it.
Yeah. Like while you're alive, you can communicate with like paranormal like ability of being able to speak to animals.
Oh, I see that one. Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of how I was taking it at first, and then I was like, wait, is it talking about that, or is it talking about like we can communicate with animals that have that ability to be able to see dead people?
True.
Or sense things. So like I think either way, I'd probably pick the animal thing. Only because I always wonder what the heck my cats are thinking, because sometimes they're just bizarre.
If you're going in with the ability that you're able to speak to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even like either way of the two, like if I'm alive, type of thing. But like that's why I think it's an if you're alive thing, because the other one doesn't really make sense if you're dead, because then you would just have a friend that was a ghost too, because you would be a ghost.
Well, you would be a friend to the animals.
No, but like the ghost, like the friendly ghost thing, right? Oh, never mind. My brain just died. Never mind. Ignore me. My brain is not working. I was like, wait a second.
We're still on animals here.
Yeah, no, but like the other option I was thinking was
to have the constant friend.
Yeah, I was like, but then you'd be dead too. But no, they're separate. Anywho, carry on.
I would also pick animals because I think if I had a constant friend that only I would see, people would think I'm crazy.
Yeah, people would definitely think you're crazy. 100%.
You'd be talking to yourself everywhere you go, and like
yeah.
So yeah, I'd pick animals. The way that I see it though would be animals that can see otherworldly things.
I think it would be cool either way, but like I think it would be cool if you could communicate with animals, and if they were able to be like, oh, there's a person in the room, or there's this thing or whatever, and you could like communicate that, they could communicate that to you, kind of a thing. But at the same time, I don't know, wouldn't that be creepy if your animal's like, hey dude, there's like a creepy woman at the end of your bed?
I think it would be just creepy at the fact that your animal could talk to you.
Yeah, but like I feel like it would be even creepier if you're like, oh hey, by the way, there's some weird chick at the end of your bed or something like that. Like I don't know. Yeah. But I always think that like I said, wonder what my animals are doing or thinking, because they're like my cat, Toph, who you might have seen in some of the things. She eats human food to the point where like we can't leave pizza boxes on the counter because she pushes them off the counter and runs off with pizza slices.
We will find pieces of food like throughout our living room, and like it's ridiculous.
Like donuts.
There was a donut in our living room this morning.
Or bread. She rips open bread contain like bread bags. The obvious like. Well, she'll eat like meat, so if there's like chicken nuggets or something left on a plate, or even like something like that, she'll grab them and run away and stuff with them. Yeah, she's a little crazy. Yeah, she's a little crazy, but yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I'd pick animal.
Yeah. Same here.
All right. Moving on to question 5. Would you rather be able to instantly teleport to any haunted location in the world, but not be able to stay for more than an hour? Or have the ability to make one paranormal wish come true, but it comes with unpredictable consequences?
Oh, hell no. I'd teleport. Fuck that shit. I don't want no unpredictable nothing.
Because you don't know what these consequences
No, like, for all, like, my worry would be, like, somebody close to me dies or something.
Like yourself.
Yeah, or I die. Yeah, like, I just, no. I don't want no unpredictable nothing or other. I would rather, I was getting all excited. I was like, oh, we're talking about teleportation? Like, I'd love to be able to teleport everywhere and anywhere, but, like, to a haunted house? I'm not sure. I don't know, because else at the same time, I'm like, if I traveled, like, teleport to a haunted house, it doesn't say that I can only teleport once in a while. So, like, if I go, I teleport there, I stay an hour, I leave, I could go back if I really wanted to.
True.
Right away.
Yeah.
But I'd probably be done before an hour, so it was fine. I'd probably be like, okay, I'm done, I'm scared.
That's my way of like I was thinking like an hour is probably a long time. For me.
Yeah. Well, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd definitely pick the teleportation thing. Like, yeah.
But I think teleportation too would be like an amazing thing to experience.
I mean, I think it would also be, like, really terrifying.
It could be.
Because, like...
But also it could be, like, the world, like the thing.
I love the idea of it, but I think I would also be terrified to do so, because I'd be terrified that, like, I would, like, explode or something. Because that's what happens in all the movies. And, they're like, real. But, yeah. But just because it's, like... I mean, I guess, like, people probably thought the same thing about, like, cars and like airplanes
when they first
were invented, they were probably like, oh, this is a death trap or whatever.
And the thing is, like, how many actually did? Like, with the very first models that came out, obviously there are things that happen, and that's why they've kept making newer models and
safer things,
things, right? So, I mean, there's chances of things like that.
Yeah,
happening.
I mean, there's chances of things happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, if you want to go do that, like, literally, like, there's no, like, you don't have to be, like, in a car to get into a, like, car accident or something like that. Like, anything can happen anywhere type of thing. So, it's, yeah.
All right. So question 6. Would you rather be an investigator on a ghost hunting reality show, or
doesn't sound so bad yet,
or have your own paranormal podcast where you share chilling stories and encounters?
Well, I mean, like, we already have our podcast, so, like, do I get to pick the other one and do both?
Well, I guess, because we already have one. So.
Yeah, like, I think it would be cool, the idea of doing, like, a haunted investigation or ghost investigation thing. On one hand is very appealing to me, on the other hand is absolutely terrifying.
Now, we did talk about wanting to do a ghost hunt
and ghost tour
walkthrough, and like we did look into them. Unfortunately, at the time, all the tickets that they wanted were sold out, so we didn't actually get.
And then now it's cold, so like we could go to the walk, but it's like minus like 20 here.
Yeah,
coming up soon. So like so like we don't really want to go when we're going to be freezing and not really enjoying it. So like that might be something like come spring that we can go and do when the weather's a little bit nicer and we can actually enjoy the like walk tours like the and stuff, because most of the ones that we were looking at were outside. There were a couple ones that we could do like in an actual place and stuff as well. But there weren't very many of them, and like we said, the tickets went really fast, so like we didn't even have a chance. Like I literally like saw it, looked at it, and their tickets were already sold out. So I was like, bummer. But yeah, so
but yeah, like also comment below if you think that would be something that would be interesting to watch, is if we went and did a live investigation.
Yeah,
obviously with you know a proper team. And
other people. Excuse me.
But I think it'd be an interesting thing. I want to experience at least once.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I just don't know where the best place to like try and do it would be.
Mind you, we are in Canada, so
yeah, like I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Where like what the best place around where we are is, so we'll have to do some more research, but
we'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into it, because I do want to do something like that. Like I said, like I want to get like all the equipment and stuff.
Like having your own reality show would also be like
really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, like and doing like your own investigation like and stuff like with a team like and whatnot, like kind of like the portals to hell or whatever. Like that would be like really cool. Like, you know, it's not just you in there with like a camera by yourself. Like
yeah, you have a team.
You have a team. You have like a producer. You have the whole camera crew, that kind of thing. So like things are more like professionally done, which would be really awesome. But I think that'd be cool. But I don't know if I could handle it. That's my only thing. Like I would love the idea of it. Sounds wonderful. But I don't know if I actually got in there and shit started happening, if I would just be like, dude, I'm fucking out.
Like bolted out the door.
Yeah, I'm out of here. See you later.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I have really bad anxiety, and I feel like that would be like very triggering for my anxiety. But who knows? I might love it.
Right? And like I'm huge in like the horror movies, and like I love everything paranormal. But I remember my sister and I had gone to Universal Studios in Hollywood, and they had this like haunted mansion walkthrough, and I literally was like on my sister's back, like gripped to her in fear. But I think a lot of the difference between that, though, is that there are people who just jump at you. Yeah. Or they grab you from behind or underneath and grab your legs, like certain things like that. So I think if I were to do like just a normal walkthrough, as long as I'm not being physically touched.
But you could be.
You could be.
Like, because the one episode we watched was Portals to Hell that Jack Osborne said.
Yeah.
He was touched. like Dupro grabbed him.
Yeah.
And so like it could happen.
Oh, I would probably be out.
Mm-hmm.
But like hearing it on like the speaker box or spirit box or whatever, I'm like, that to me would probably be like very interesting to witness.
Yeah, and exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could go either way.
Yeah.
You know.
I think there's certain things that if they happened, I would freak right out and bolt. Like if shit started moving or like something touched me, like depending on what was moving, like. But
if they like throw a chair across the room, fuck yeah, I'm out of there.
Yeah, like if stuff starts moving in like aggressive ways or whatever, or people start levitating, I'm out.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Like bouncing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, nope.
Nope, I would be the same. But
so this is Toph, the pizza eater.
The human food lover.
She's a cat that thinks she's a dog. That thinks she's human. Mm-hmm. Because she also likes to sit in our, like, we have, like, a bar stool, like a bar area, like a breakfast bar, and we have, like, these little, like, stools, I guess they're called. And she sits on them and sits there, like, she's like, okay, where's my food? Yeah, you do. You sit on the chair with your, like, little face peeking up on the table, and you're like, hello, can I have some food? No, you get no food. But,
yeah. All right. So, let us know below too about your thoughts of that one. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm very curious to see what other people would think about one, what your reaction would be to being touched.
Yeah.
Like if someone was to touch you close, do you think that you would be calm, or do you think that you would also like freak out and be like, no, I'm out?
Mm-hmm. I think also for a lot of people, I could be wrong, but I think for a lot of people it would also depend on how exactly you were touched. Because, like, why my one, like, paranormal thing was, like, I was touched, but it was a very, like, gentle, like, touch, and it felt like somebody that was, like, loving and caring touched me. Like, I thought my parent, like, I thought it was my mom that, like, touched my shoulder or, like, my hip or whatever. Whereas if you're being grabbed, like, aggressively and or if there's any actual physical, like, injury, because some people get, like, grabbed and, like, burned or grabbed and scratched or grabbed and, like, bruised or whatever. I think that also will determine how people react, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like it could just be like a close kind of grab or like scratching. So like, I think if it was like a tug, maybe it'd be like, oh, what was that kind of thing. But like, I don't want to be physically hurt.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think that would depend. Like that would kind of change the reaction for a lot of people as well. Would be like exactly how you were physically touched. Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, let us know, because that'd be interesting to see what other people have to say about that. All right. Moving on. Question 7. Would you rather have the ability to see your own future but not be able to change it, or possess a mirror that shows you glimpses of alternate realities filled with paranormal occurrences?
I'm a little confused about like what exactly the mirror would do. But at the same time, I would probably choose that only because, again, the same reason why I wouldn't want to like not like the whole seeing my future and not being able to change anything, I think would be very like hard and very anxiety provoking. Because like you don't know what you're gonna see, and if you see something that is traumatic and there's nothing that you can do to stop it and you know it's coming up, it's going to create a lot of like anxiety and potentially guilt and like all sorts of bad juju feelings. So I don't want any of that hate.
That's a hard one because like if anybody knows me, like I don't do good with mirrors.
Yeah. I don't really like the whole like Bloody Mary mirror thing, like freaks me right out. But I feel like out of the two, I feel like that, as long as like it didn't affect my reality and it was just like I could see things from like other alternate realities that involve paranormal things, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's not affecting me. It's like watching TV. That's what I'm gonna put it as.
If I'm like watching TV. So if it's just a glimpse, like which means it's very quick, then I would probably end up picking the mirror too.
Yeah, just because, like, again, I don't really know if I want to know, like, because, like, because, like, if something happened, like I said, that was traumatic or something, and I wouldn't want to know that was coming and not be able to do anything about it. Because, again, I would feel guilty that I knew, but I couldn't do anything. And, like, or, you know, like, I don't know, I just feel like it would be too much responsibility and too much, like, too heavy because, like, I don't know. Like, do you tell other people what you saw if they're, like, involved in it or whatever? Like,
yeah, that's a hard one because, like,
not everybody wants to know their own thing too, like, and stuff, because, like, sure, it's about your, like, future, but, like, if you, like, I'm married, so my future should include my husband and my 2 kids and stuff like that, and, like, so I'm like,
yeah,
maybe not. So yeah, I think that I'd have to pick the mirror just because of that, because that'd be too much anxiety for me,
knowing what's coming in the future.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So question 8, which is our last question.
Last question for tonight.
We are going to do one more just because we are both under the weather, but we wanted to make sure that we got a episode in for you guys. Yep. So after this last question, then
that will be the end of the episode.
This Would You Rather episode.
And then we will have the Conjuring 2 tomorrow.
Conjuring 2.
Yes, we're going to be watching Conjuring 2, doing the reaction. And again, that'll be like watching the movie, immediately reacting type of thing. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk a little bit more than what we were able to talk about with Annabelle. It was Annabelle, right?
And Nun 2.
The Nun 2. Sorry, the Nun 2. My brain died. Because, like, literally right after the Nun 2 ended, my daughter was screaming her head off. So, like, we had to kind of, like, wrap it up really quick. So hopefully we'll be able to have, like, a little bit more of a chit chat about, like, our thoughts and that kind of thing and whatnot, but we'll see. And hopefully, like, this will be like one of the first movies in a while that we've seen the Warrens for an extended length of time. Yeah, because, like, they've kind of been like glimpses here and there and stuff, but
especially for the Nun movies, because you do see glimpses of them, but they weren't actually part of any of the investigations.
No,
in the Nun or in Annabelle so far.
No, but yeah.
Like Annabelle Creation, they weren't in it.
No, but I think I don't think that actually happened. I think that's part of the reason why, like, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I think with the Nun 2 and Annabelle Creation, they're fiction. So they don't want to, like, entirely, like, include, like, real people. Yeah. Other than, like, to tie it in, I guess, to, like, the universe or whatever. But, yeah.
All right. So, last question of the day. Question 8. Would you rather spend a night in an abandoned asylum known for its paranormal activity or explore an ancient cemetery where spirits are said to roam freely? I hate both of these questions.
Me too. I'm like, one's outside and it's dark and it's creepy and they're just wandering around, and the other one is potentially like Phaz, where you hear stuff and they're screaming at you and you're getting locked in, and
so my mind
you might not have power,
like straight to where Phaz.
Yeah, like the lights even in Phaz are really shitty in the asylum. Like, you can barely see anything and stuff. And like, so a little, like, weird side story. So, like, back a while ago, like, I'm a nurse right now. I'm on long-term disability, so I'm not working as a nurse. But when I was in school, and for a while, well, especially when I was in school, we had psych classes, and we had to do, like, a psychiatric, like, rotation where we went to, like, a psych ward to, like, help patients and stuff and learn about doing, like, psych evaluations and that kind of thing. And so one of the places that I actually went to reminded me a lot of Phaz. And it was It was like a combination of Faz meets like the prison. Sorry, Faz. The asylum meets the prison in Faz. Because there were bars. There was like each ward was like locked with a big like door, kind of like when you go into each ward. They had like a big key that you had to like unlock things. Each door of each cell was locked with like a door. They had actual doors though. They didn't have like cell bars, and they had like little windows and stuff. But yeah, this like building was very, very, very old. And was torn down because the rooms were literally like inhumane. They were concrete, like wall to wall. They didn't get a bed. They got like a concrete slab that they could sleep on. They didn't have, like, they had, I think most of the rooms had like a little toilet, but like most of them didn't have water like running to them. They had to tell people that like they went to the washroom so that you could flush the toilet for them from the outside. And that was for safety reasons though, because there are some psychiatric medications and psychiatric disorders that cause people to drink excessive water. And there's a thing called like water intoxication. So if you drink too much water, your like electrolytes will get all out of balance, and then you literally walk around like you're drunk, and it can be fatal. So like that's why.
You can also drown from having too much water.
Well, that's
what you were saying.
So basically like your electrolytes get all out of whack, and then it literally, like, people literally act like they're intoxicated from like alcohol and stuff like that. So and it's very, very, like I said, very dangerous. Like you can have seizures, you can go into a coma, you can die from it, and stuff. But yeah, it was very creepy, and like the lighting was very much the same. Like it was really dark and dingy and stuff. So whenever I think of like the asylum, like whenever somebody says like asylum or like mental hospital, like that's what I think of. And stuff. And like I didn't really like being there, and I was only in that building during the day because it was during school hours, like 7 to 7. I never did any nights there, and I was so glad because it just would have been so creepy. Like I ended up working there, but they had like torn down that building and made like a brand new like fancy state-of-the-art building and stuff, and whatnot. But yeah, it was very like old-timey. Like you could tell that it was not of this century. Like where I'm like, there's no way that like that's like deemed to be like okay. It also had like asbestos everywhere, which is part of the reason why it was like torn down. So but yeah, so it was very creepy. But I think if I had to choose between a cemetery being outside and a sane asylum, I don't know. Like, do I have to be like inside the cemetery gates?
Probably.
Then like I don't know.
See, I'm like, this kind of reverts back to one of the other questions that we just had about the whole like the haunted mansion or the dark forest or something like that.
But like some cemeteries, don't they have lights, or do they not have lights? I don't know.
I think some do.
Because if they had lights, it would be maybe a little, but still, it's like,
still outside.
Yeah.
It's still.
Yeah, I feel like I still would probably pick like the mental like hospital.
Well, that depends. I mean, if it's the cemetery, during the day, I don't care if they're roam freely. Like, just stay away from me. So if it's during the day, I would take the cemetery, because if anybody knows me, like we've talked to this about. Wow, brain fart. We've talked about this before in one of our episodes about how I hate the asylum, especially in Faz. So if I didn't have to do the asylum, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, if it was during the day, I feel like doing the cemetery would be like no big deal. But I feel like this question is like a nighttime question though. Like, why would anybody care if they went to a cemetery during the day?
Maybe because the spirits roam freely.
But still.
So here, if it's during the day, I would pick the cemetery.
Yeah.
If it was at night, as much as I fucking dread this, I would end up picking the asylum.
Yep.
And you know what I would do in the asylum? Because you only have to spend a night, I would tuck myself in a freaking corner and not move the entire night. That's it.
Right by the front door.
Right by the front door. Yeah.
Yeah, right by the front door. Yep. And that's where I would, or you know what? If they had lockers, maybe I would just shove myself in a locker.
True.
Close the door. It seems to work really well for the ghosts.
In the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the prison. Yeah. Just like, hide in there. Hide somewhere that's like right near the front door that I can see things, but maybe things can't see me.
Mm-hmm.
And just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would still have like flashlights and like all the power things. Like there would be no dark roaming in this.
No.
There
wouldn't even be any curiosity about what's going on. No.
I'd be like, I am sitting in this corner, and especially if you had to be alone. Like if you could have other people, like maybe. But if I was all by myself,
yeah,
heck no way am I exploring. That's how people get dead. Mm-hmm. I've seen all those movies.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to do either.
Yeah, but if we had to, that would be. So what is? I'm curious to know what everybody else's opinion would be about that too. So make sure you comment down below about like what your answer would be during the day and maybe during the night, and see if they're different and the reasons why. Because again, it would be interesting to see like what other people's thoughts are about it.
I want to do an episode too where we end up asking both Eric and Trina the same questions, and I want to get their answers on what they think too. Mm-hmm. So that could be also an episode that we do as our guest.
Ooh, well, I got electrocuted.
Yeah,
we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
And then, we still have the episode where you talk about your paranormal experience.
Yep.
And then we want to talk about like haunted dolls, which will probably be coming up soon because we'll probably watch the Annabelles and then do like haunted dolls.
Once the Annabelle movies are done, then I would like to do more.
So like, because like my worry, because like I haven't seen any of the Annabelles, and like I think you've only seen one.
Yeah.
So we're trying not to like spoil them for ourselves by doing research on haunted dolls, because if you Google haunted dolls, like the top like topic is about Annabelle in the movies, or Annabelle and the real doll, or Chucky. But so we don't really want to do too much research into them. And then we want to do one on Ouija boards, tarot cards,
practically all like the paranormal
occult
investigating type machinery.
Yeah, and any of the occult like type things, and stuff.
We also talked about wanting to do even just like unexplained like UFOs and like
sightings and stuff, because there are a couple like sightings and stuff like that.
Yeah, someone mentioned too that we should probably look into like Bigfoot and like the Yeti and all that kinds of stuff. Like it's still kind of on the
unexplained
/ I guess it's not really paranormal, but like the unexplained. So eventually that might be some topics that we can talk about.
Look and see it, like what It's like I'm kind of curious about like I haven't done any research on like Bigfoot or Yetis or whatever, but like I'm kind of curious as to like how they came about, like where their story originated from and why. Because like with Bigfoot it's a little different because like everybody kind of has like their own version of like what it looks like. But like with a Yeti, like I don't know, are they a real thing? Because it's gonna sound really dumb. Because everybody has the same general appearance for them, right? Like,
and yet it's really funny because people say that the Yeti is just Bigfoot but white, and that lives like in the snow mountain.
Yeah.
But is that true? Or is the Yeti actually something completely different?
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, but everybody basically has like the same vision of like what a Yeti looks like.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like Bigfoot, there's people that think that Bigfoot is like a Yeti but brown, or there's people that think it's like a hairy human being that's like really tall. So it's hard to like really know and stuff, but I'm curious to know like where all that originated from and like that kind of thing.
And then, if you guys have any other like
ideas
topics, or thoughts, or
questions,
anything unexplained that you've heard about that we haven't mentioned yet, you can let us know, and we'll write it down and
look into it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But for now, I guess we will say our goodbyes.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because every like and subscribe definitely helps the channel. And, you know, feel free to comment and stuff. Because again, every comment
helps us.
And we also respond to every comment for the most part. The only ones we don't respond to are the ones that are rude, but we respond to all the other comments. And yeah. We're kind of curious about your guys' thoughts and opinions about, you know, your answers on the different questions or that kind of thing. So let us know.
Yeah, so stay tuned till next week.
Alrighty.
Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night. Bye.